Hi, it's Paul here from selfoutforlife.com, and in today's video I'm going to cover how to take inspired action and get fantastic results. I'll start by talking about what inspired action is and how to know when you have it. I'll then cover the differences between inspired action, neutral action and forced action. I'll talk about inspired ideas, how to identify inspired ideas and the importance of acting on those quickly. I'll then cover how to take inspired action and also how to get inspired when you don't feel like it. So if there's times when you know you need to take action but you don't feel inspired, I'll provide some ways to help you develop that inspiration first. So I'll start by talking a little bit about guidance, action and manifesting. So when you set a goal or an intention or a desire, and when you think about it often or when you visualize it, you send a message to the universe. The universe then responds with guidance, and that guidance involves some kind of action. Now it might be a small step, it might be a big step, but it will be the next logical step and the next step in sequence. Think of it as the universe opening doors, but you still need to take action to go through those doors. So when you take action, you're showing the universe and your subconscious mind that you're serious. And when you do that, it responds with the next step. It opens the next door. So taking action, and ideally inspired action, is the most important step in manifesting. It's crucial to your success. So before you can take inspired action, you need an inspired idea. But how do you know which ideas are inspired ideas and which ones are normal ones? Well, here are a few clues. Often you'll notice a strong inner urge to take action. It'll be like a gut feeling or an intuition. And it often comes with powerful emotions. And these are normally positive emotions, but not always. You don't always know why you're guided to take this action, but it makes sense and you feel you need or want to do it. It's typically not planned, so it's impulsive. It also comes from the heart rather than from the head, so more from the heart rather than from your logical mind. And typically it's action that when you do it, you know it's going to make you happy. So why is taking inspired action important? Well, the law of attraction is not magic. You can use all the tools, you can do the visualization, you can have the vision boards, you can use hypnosis, affirmations and all the other tools and techniques that are available. But if you don't take action, not much is going to change. The universe and your subconscious mind will give you the ideas, it will give you the signs and the signals. You might find you attract new people, new situations, new possibilities. You might experience an epiphany. That's a moment of sudden or great realization. But unless you act on all of these things, then not much is going to change for you. So I'm now going to cover the three different types of action. These are inspired action, neutral action, and forced action. Now all three types of action are useful and necessary at times. However, inspired action always feels better and you often get more done and get more done quickly when you feel inspired. So I would call inspired action the holy grail of action taking. So inspired action is when you cannot wait to take action. It's when work just flows. It's when you can't type fast enough. It's when ideas flow naturally and you feel like you're in the zone. It's when you're in alignment with the universe, and it's when time flies and you completely lose track of time. It's when you feel inspired, elevated, energized and enthusiastic, both when doing the activity but also after you've finished it too. It's when you're highly productive and the activity doesn't feel like work. It's when you're feeling happy and joy while you're doing the activity. And it's when you feel that more luck and good fortune is coming your way and you feel that the action is coming from your soul. So inspired action is also action that is taking you closer to your important goals. You know it's leading you to the next important step. And it's also when there's a clear goal and intent behind the action. It's not just action that's keeping you busy. Now, inspired action doesn't always feel good. It can be scary and take you out of your comfort zone. It's not always easy or fun. However, when you take inspired action and when you conquer those fears and those things that are scary, you will feel wonderful afterwards and you know that you're on track. So neutral action is when you experience little or no emotion. It's when the task feels mundane or even downright boring. It's when the task is repetitive or when you feel you're following the status quo. It's when you're taking action because you're supposed to without questioning it and you feel like you're on autopilot. Now, neutral actions are essential for staying alive. Activities such as working, cooking, eating, or doing household chores are good examples. So many neutral actions turn into success habits. For example, exercising regularly, saving every month, or preparing healthy meals. When you do those consistently, the results compound over time. And then later on, you'll have an impressive body, fantastic health, and a secure financial future. Neutral action can be those stepping stones that lead you to more inspired action in the future. It could be those mundane action steps that lead to an exciting adventure down the road. So don't underestimate neutral action. It is important and it is essential for your long-term success. So forced action tends to come very much from the head rather than the heart. So it's your logical mind that's at play here. So it's taking action based on what you think or believe is possible. And quite often there is a negative emotion that's driving this type of action. So this could be a fear of losing someone, or a fear of failure, or a fear of rejection. So forced action takes you out of alignment with the universe. It's when you're trying to walk up a down escalator, and it's when you're desperate to figure things out. You're really trying to force the solution rather than allowing it to happen. And forced action often happens when you're very attached to the goal or outcome. When taking forced action, you often feel stressed, miserable, or tired. You feel like your life is not moving forward in the direction that you want it to. And forced action doesn't feel good, especially when done repeatedly or done for a long time. Examples of forced action could be writing assignments or articles and you're staring at your laptop, staring at the blank screen, and hours go by and you don't achieve very much. You have that writer's block. And forced action can feel very frustrating. There's no joy or inspiration in the task. And it can leave you feeling confused or even bored and drained at the end of a task. Now, when activities seem like forced action, often a simple solution is to take a break and recharge, and then you'll find that the same activities feel more like neutral action or maybe even inspired action. So can inspired action change to neutral action or forced action? Well, the short answer is yes. And a good example of this is a new job. So when you start a new job, everything you do seems exciting and you take lots of inspired action. You enjoy the variety, the new work, meeting new people, making a fresh start. And then over time that becomes neutral action. So you still do good work, but you're not as excited about it as you used to be. And then maybe you get to a point where it becomes forced action. So work becomes a bit of a drag. You use any opportunity to be a bit lazy, to avoid tasks, bunk off if you can. And at that point, it's time then to maybe look for a new job. Now, when I first started Self-Help for Life, I was very inspired, enthusiastic, and excited. So almost every action I took was inspired action. Now, 3 or 4 years down the road, it's a bit of a mixture of all three. So there's some inspired action, there's a certain amount of neutral action, and occasionally there'll be some forced action if there's a particular task that I know I need to do, but I don't really want to do, or I don't feel like doing it right now. Now, forced action is not all bad. Forced action often leads to a decision to change. So looking at that career job example, once it becomes forced action, that's when you make the decision to change to a new job or career. And then you start taking inspired action as you look for a new opportunity. Now, when I find that action I'm taking becomes forced, I always start by taking a break. I then look at different or better ways of doing things that might make me feel more inspired. And also I get back into alignment with my goals and my dreams and my why. So I really look at why I'm doing something and get back in touch with what that is. So I'm now going to cover how to take inspired action. So you first want to connect with your inner guidance system. So when you're busy, it's very easy to miss intuitive hunches, flashes of inspiration, inner urges or nudges, gut feelings and aha moments. So the solution is to write them down as you notice them. So keep a little notebook or a file on your computer, and as soon as you notice any of these, write them down so that you will remember them later. Then take action now. The best time to act on an inspired idea is right now. Why? Because it's exciting, because it fills you with energy and enthusiasm. So the longer you leave it, the less inspired you will be, because inspiration wanes with time. So if you leave it for 6 months, it will then seem less inspiring, less fresh, your energy will wane and you'll be less enthusiastic. Also, your logical mind has time to question it and to find reasons why it won't work. So remember that inspiration comes from your heart, not from your head, and it's often your head that will question these inspired ideas. Taking action keeps the emotional fire burning. It increases inspiration and enthusiasm, so you're more likely to take more inspired action in the future. It also keeps you in alignment with divine thinking, and you get to seize on those wonderful synchronicities that happen when you do take inspired action. Now also, not every inspired idea will be successful in practice. So the sooner you take action, the sooner you will find out. And remember that successful people take lots of action, they fail often and they fail fast, and that's okay. That's how they became successful. Now, an important point, taking inspired action now should not involve taking any foolish risks. So some examples of those could be spending all your life savings on lottery tickets in the hope of winning the lottery, or quitting your uninspiring job right now because it always feels like forced action, but doing that when you have no other income source to live on, so no savings or no obvious chance of getting another job. So that would be foolish action, not inspired action. Also, timing is never perfect. The idea that there is a perfect time is a myth. It's much better to take inspired action now, and then you'll get the rewards sooner. Also, remember that taking inspired action can sometimes seem a little scary or fearful. It can sometimes take you out of your comfort zone, and that's okay. What it then does is it shows to the universe that you're serious and you're ready to take the next step. So I'm now going to cover how to take inspired action when you don't feel inspired. Now, if you wait until you feel inspired before you take any action, you could be waiting a very long time. The good news is that there are steps, there are things that you can do right now to feel more inspired and more motivated. And I'm going to cover a few of those now for you. So the first way is to do the task for 15 minutes, regardless of how you feel, and then notice what happens. Typically, when you start taking action, you'll find that the inspiration and the motivation will come. This has happened many times for me, so I encourage you to give that a go. Another way is to reconnect with your why. This is a good one if you were taking inspired action in the past and now it feels more like neutral action or forced action. So for example, if you're losing weight, go back to the reasons why you want to lose weight, and that will start to give you the inspiration and the motivation to take action again, and it will feel more like it's inspired. If you're building some kind of business, go back to the real reasons why you were building that in the first place and reconnect with that. Reconnect with that bigger picture, and you'll find that that inspiration will come back. Another option is to take a break. It's hard to feel inspired when you're tired or burned out, or if you've been working too hard for too long. So sometimes the solution is to rest, recover, and do some fun activities. When you do this, you find that the motivation and inspiration will return once you've had that little bit of downtime. And often going out for a walk in nature can be a great way to do this. Another great way is to consume inspirational content. So this could be reading inspirational books or watching inspirational videos. When you do this, this will help you develop those positive emotional states again, and you'll naturally feel more inspired. It's almost like it reignites that inspiration that was inside you all along. You could find success stories. So this is finding other people that have achieved what you desire. And it's very easy these days to find these people on the internet. They're always very happy to share their success stories and how they overcame the adversities and struggles that you may be facing right now. And I always find that when I listen to these inspirational stories, that definitely helps fuel my inspiration and motivation. So definitely give that one a go. Also, personal development activities are really good for increasing your level of inspiration. So this could be journaling, meditation, repeating affirmations, or visualization. Also, expressing gratitude is really good for this as well. And if you want to learn more about the different personal development activities, then I've done a video that goes into this in much more detail, which will appear right here, right now. Finally, exercise and movement are powerful for changing your emotional state and helping you feel more inspired. So whether that's doing a rigorous workout, doing a few jumping jacks, or maybe putting on some lively music and having a little dance, these are all great things to help you increase inspiration and increase motivation. So to conclude, taking action is the most important step in manifesting your goals, dreams, and desires. And inspired action is the most effective and the most enjoyable. However, don't wait for the inspiration to flow. Take action anyway, and often you'll find that the inspiration will come. And if it doesn't, use some of the other ways that I mentioned in this video to help you feel more inspired first before taking action. And if the action feels forced, especially if you've been doing it for a few weeks and it continues to feel forced, then take a step back. See if there's another approach, another way you could do. See if it's a goal you really want to achieve, and see if you can find a way that feels more inspiring when you do it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please do give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and do leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to this channel and click the bell notification. That way you will always be notified whenever I release future videos just like this one. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to sharing more great content with you very soon. Bye for now.